Hello. I'm reading this book right now, and it's called Think and Grow Rich. And it's one of those books that doesn't just change what you think, its goal is to change how you think. And the whole premise of this book is manifestation and how these tycoons that I don't really like have used manifestation in order to accumulate their wealth. And yeah, I know the world has been watered down a lot with the word manifestation. It seems like everybody's manifesting something, but this book seems a bit real. It seems tactical, and it touches on premises of something deeper. It touches on faith and determination and persistence and the kind of things that you can't really fake, that they have no choice but to be real. But one of the core ideas of this book talks about the power of the mastermind. And at first, that sounds ridiculous. I don't even know what the mastermind is. It's but simply it's just a group of people working together towards one goal. And that goal can be the accumulation of wealth or power, or it could just be a bunch of people trying to get better at Rocket League. But the reason it works is because of shared mistakes, shared lessons. And if you watched any video on Mr. Beast on how he improved, he directly talks about this. If you move alone, you make 100 mistakes by yourself. But if 100 people each make one mistake, you can share it. And now you've made 100 mistakes at the cost of only one, and in exchange you received 100 lessons for only one mistake. And that's why the 1% never moves alone. And that kind of stuck with me. Because I asked why, and then that's what made me want to talk about this today. Was there something even deeper than the mastermind? Is what the author of this book, his name's Napoleon Hill, called the invisible counsel. What does that mean? And I know I'm kind of jumping everywhere, but just hear me out. Okay, so we got the mastermind, which is like 100 people all working together. And then we have something that he calls the invisible counsel. And that's the idea that successful people, the real ones, don't just surround themselves with a group in the physical world, the one that we're in right now. They build one in their minds. And they consult imaginary mentors or role models or future versions of themselves, and they speak to them in their own mind. And they listen and they think with them, and that blew my mind. Because I'm like, well, that sounds pretty insane that you're sitting there speaking with yourself. Like that doesn't really make sense. Because I used to think talking to yourself was weird. Like when you're a kid and people make jokes about that. Like, oh, look at that guy over there. He's talking to himself. He must be crazy. And then that's literally what I'm doing now. I'm literally doing that now. Nobody else is in the room with me. I'm sitting here talking to myself. It's just me and the invisible counsel. But now, I think that it's one of the strongest signs of self-mastery. And I know I'm biased because I sit in my room and I talk to myself, or well, this camera. And I think that it's directly improving me because when you really think about it, nobody else can get you to your goals and nobody else can build your vision for you. You can't outsource purpose. You can't delegate faith that this YouTube channel is going to work out. I can't give somebody the same faith that I have that this is going to work out. And that's why speaking to yourself isn't a flaw. That's why consulting with the invisible counsel isn't crazy. It's a feature, it's a power move, because if you create an internal world strong enough to believe in your own future, and if you talk to yourself subconscious, if you talk to yourself in here and you wrestle with doubt to lead yourself, then you don't really need anybody else. You don't need somebody to hold your hand, because you will be the one doing the leading. Because there's nobody else in here but you. And I'm still not done with the book at the time of writing this. I said in the script, maybe I'll be done by the time I record. I'm not. I'm like 20 pages left. But already this idea has stuck with me so hard that I felt the need to make a video about it. And that's the belief that everything you want is simply within reach. As long as you can stay persistent and stay faithful and ask yourself for this goal every single day. If you wake up and ask yourself, hey, I want a successful YouTube channel, then subconsciously, that's all you're going to be able to think about is coming into your room, putting on a mask, and recording videos. So if you're still watching, if you made it this far, let me just say this. I don't want likes. I don't necessarily want subscribers right now. I don't want to have to ask you to subscribe. But if I could ask for one thing, that's just one thing, it's this. Sorry, my camera died. We switched to another one, so we're just going to start here. Leave me a story, a real story in the comments. Tell me about a time you've built something by yourself because you're so determined to. Tell me how you reaped the full reward of building that because you never gave up and you needed to do it. Those are the comments I want to read. And that's what I want this video to do. Because deep down, I know that you already know what I'm telling you. I know that you already know you have this power, you have the mind to be able to push yourself to do something that you always wanted to do. And if you don't use it, and if you don't talk to it, you'll never hear the answers you already hold. So I'll leave you with one question. What are you waiting for? I'll catch you next time.